Item number 7, the town manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will just say that my diet has gone completely out the window between these two places opening, so I'll continue to have 100 shins up here. The Tyngsborough Police Department is hosting a back-to-school supply drive to collect school supplies for families in our community who are in need. You can bring supplies to the lobby of the police department through August 25th. Last week, the Middle School Building Committee had a chance to tour the new middle school, which has received its occupancy permit, and will see teachers move in this week. Students will return for the school year on August 26th, and they'll be the first group of students to use the building. If you've driven by, you can see that the old school is down, and the new school looks fantastic. I'm happy to share that as of today, we're still trending toward being under budget by close to $2.8 million. That number becomes much firmer as we wrap up on the key items. So I'll keep the board updated as we progress. We won't know for certain until the MSBA does their closeout audit, which can take up to 2 years. So we're certainly ending under budget. The final number will be confirmed by the MSBA once they do their final audit. On that note, residents are invited to a public open house on Saturday, August 23rd from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. That is the same day as the block party, but it starts a few hours earlier, so you can swing by the open house and then come celebrate the milestone at the block party. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll attend the Council on Aging meeting to learn more about how we can support their efforts to expand the offerings of programs and services with a focus on the after-hours programming that they launched earlier this year. I met a couple weeks ago with 2 members of the Council on Aging, and I know that there's still a big push to ensure that we have a diverse offering. They completed a pretty well-participated-in survey a few months ago that we sat down and looked at the data, so I'm excited to see what we can do to continue to advance that work. The Massachusetts Department of Public Health has increased the West Nile virus risk for Tyngsborough to moderate as a result of positive cases identified in multiple neighboring communities. In fact, all of the communities to the east of us are at a high risk right now. Tyngsborough is still at a moderate. We've published helpful information about avoiding West Nile virus at tyngsboroughma.gov, but just summarily, residents should wear long sleeves when outside between dawn and dusk, wear a mosquito repellent, empty standing water regularly, and report potential breeding grounds like unused pools or large volumes of standing water to the Tyngsborough Health Department. This morning, we convened a meeting of all of our department heads at the new clubhouse in Ironwood Park for a goal-setting workshop. Assistant Town Manager Sean Walsh put the meeting together and did a great job helping departments to align their goals with the master plan as well as the draft set of goals that this board will discuss a little bit later on. In the coming weeks, Sean and I will work with departments to refine their goals, and we'll make a compiled goal book for our departments, which will be available for review by the board and the public, which will help us track against the progress. These, similar to your goals, are living documents, so depending on how you vote on your goals tonight, we'll share that back with departments so that they can make sure that their work aligns. Currently looking to hire a full-time communications specialist for our 911 communication center. We're accepting letters of interest and resumes through September 5th. You can learn more by visiting the HR page on tyngsboroughma.gov. We're also currently looking to hire a new patrol officer for the Tyngsborough Police Department. Also accepting resumes through September 5th, and you can find the information at that same link on tyngsboroughma.gov. Happy to share that we've hired Eric Mitza to join our DBW team as the cemetery coordinator. Eric will begin in early September and will assume responsibility for coordinating burials and maintenance at the town cemeteries. The position has been vacant for a few months, and our DBW superintendent has been coordinating those efforts, so I appreciate his help with that, and I know that he's just as thrilled to have someone on board to focus on that work. And actually this week, Jason Lobus started as our new skilled laborer and mechanic within the highway division of the DPW. So they are back to previous full staffing, although they will remind me that they had one additional person in 1999, so I didn't want to miss that announcement. Last week, we received the initial conditions report from Gale Associates, which was hired over the summer to perform an exterior conditions assessment and cost estimate for the restoration of the exterior of the Winslow School. This was a CPC-funded project to explore the feasibility of a request from the Historical Commission to use the remaining $1.2 million from the May 2023 town meeting vote to restore just the exterior of the entire building. You may remember that in May of 2023, town meeting approved $1.5 million to tear down the additions and restore the outside of the original schoolhouse and also move it further up on the site. When I got involved in the project, our cost estimates showed that it was far too expensive, and so the project has been on hold, which prompted the Historical Commission to say, well, let's use the balance to just seal up the whole building. The report was not surprising. I've shared it with this board. CPC has seen it, and we'll make it available on the town website this week. The building has a lot of work that needs to be done to it. Gale Associates was on site last week to talk to Sean and I, as well as a couple members of the CPC, to walk through how they got to where they ended up. And so now the next step, in the next few weeks, they'll develop a cost estimate. And again, the cost estimate is based on their conditions assessment, what it would take to fully restore and seal just the outside. So once that number comes in, we'll share it. There'll be a full CPC meeting, which will be a public meeting where those numbers will be discussed. The DPW Cemetery Division is beginning the process of expanding available lots at Memorial Cemetery. We're currently selling lots in what is the last available section of the cemetery, and we are selling them rather quickly, so we're going to have to quickly expand so that we can sell additional plots. The DPW is going to begin some minor land clearing, so you may see some trees come down behind the last row that's being sold. And then leveling with the goal of putting in a new paved road in the existing property sometime next year. Right now, we have half of the last lot that you can't access because there's no road yet. So we can sell those plots, but once you sell them, you have to be prepared to bury, unfortunately, at any time. So our DPW and our town clerk's office have spent a lot of hours, and Sean has helped quite a bit, digitizing our records, correcting maps that were really hard to understand and sometimes upside down or backwards. So in the next few months, we're going to have a much better system of tracking and organizing over at the cemetery. The Norris Road Sidewalk Project is moving right along. Crews have been busy installing the new accessible sidewalk and doing the associated site work. The majority of the work will be complete this week. A small portion of the project, which is the piece of the sidewalk that extends beyond the school campus toward Lawrence Road, is slightly delayed simply because the fencing for the old middle school is in the way. The contractor can't move it altogether right now because their insurance requires a certain distance. So we've been coordinating with Fontaine, which is the site contractor for the school. If we have to come back out once that fencing is gone, we will, but we're looking at some alternative ways to just temporarily move their fence. But the rest of the project will be complete. I drove down there today, and it's looking really awesome. S&R Corporation has spent the last couple of weeks navigating the state's regulatory process for the abatement and demo of 180 Lakeview Ave. This morning, they submitted their formal work plan to the town, which is currently being reviewed by our abatement designer. If all is good, they will begin to mobilize on site next Monday, and the schedule calls for them to complete their scope of work by September 2nd. So quick turnaround once they're on site. They're leaving the site with a packed down dirt base, so the foundation will be filled in and it'll be prepped for paving. Our DPW will then pave over it so that it'll be basically just an extension of the existing parking lot. Once they clear out, I expect that a week or so after that, we'll have it fully paved by the DPW. On a procurement front, bids for the 2025 Roads Improvement Project Phase 2 are due on Wednesday at 10 a.m. This work includes the reconstruction portion of our 2025 roads program, which will see work on Pine Street, Oak Street, Lincoln Drive, Bridget Ave, and Elm Street. Bid documents are available on our website through our electronic bidding process. And a reminder that we're currently seeking proposals from qualified designers to conduct the schematic design of a new fire station. Those are also due Wednesday at 10 a.m. And then next week, the designer selection committee will begin the process of reviewing proposals to select the most qualified. And then just a couple of reminders for upcoming events. The Council on Aging will host a Memory Cafe on Wednesday, August 20th from 12 p.m. to 1 at the Center for Active Living. Memory cafes are welcome spaces for individuals with memory loss and their caregivers to socialize, enjoy activities, and connect with others in a supportive environment. You can sign up at the Center for Active Living. September is the American Library Association's Library Card Sign-Up Month. You can celebrate here with the Tyngsborough Public Library by visiting them in person or tinglib.org/card to get your library card today. With a library card, you can do much more than just check out books. You can borrow museum passes, musical instruments, and tools. You can also attend engaging programming like book clubs, lectures, and do arts and crafts. Whether you're a student, job seeker, entrepreneur, or lifelong learner, a library card is a smart way to stay connected with your community. I should start doing radio advertisement. That's kind of what that seemed like. And then, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't note that the annual Party by the Bridge hosted by our rec committee will take place this Saturday, August 23rd in the town center. The program will begin at 11 a.m. and end with fireworks on the river over the river at dark. As always, we're still looking for a handful of volunteers, so if you're able to help, contact our rec department or visit tyngsboroughma.gov. And as I mentioned earlier, expect that traffic in the town center will be less than pleasant. We posted today on our website and social media the traffic management plan. So Kendall Road will be closed starting at Bryant Lane. If you live on Kendall after Bryant Lane, you will be allowed through, but there'll be a physical hard stop at the fire station. The rightmost lane on the southbound direction of Middlesex Road will be closed, so there'll only be one travel lane going south toward Chelmsford, and Winslow Road is going to close on Thursday at 7 a.m. and remain closed until Monday at 7 a.m. And then the Health and Safety Fair will take place on Saturday, September 27th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Tyngsborough Elementary School.
Thank you. Open up to the board for questions. Mr. Eldridge.
A lot to unpack there, but some items to note, and I certainly hope, I like the aunt who's, we might need to get a...
Well, I was going to use the gavel and thought that would be distracting.
This is a public meeting, answer invited.
Yes. I think, so, huge week with the middle school, right? Folks, I think that Mr. Schneider, who sat on the committee, I think the committee should really be proud of the accomplishments of getting the school done on time and under budget. I don't know that we're going to hear from the residents who told us it was going to be over budget and over budget and over budget. I don't think we're going to hear from those people when it comes in under budget. So kudos to the committee on that, and the many, many individuals who were involved in making that happen. The only other thing that I may save, I'll save it for the select board reports.
Ooh.
I'm going to tease that for you.
Okay, all right. Select person Gilchrist.
Oh, I can't wait. Two things. Are we doing anything proactively about mosquitoes for the block party?
Not at this current time. Tyngsborough several years ago at town meeting voted to not participate in the Central Massachusetts Mosquito Spraying Coalition, which has a fancier name than I've declared. What that means is there is no proactive spraying. If a positive case in Tyngsborough is identified, the Board of Health has the statutory authority to do targeted spraying just in that area. But we will ramp up our messaging to advise people. We're going to have some colder nights coming up, so that will help just a little bit. But there is no widespread spraying or anything planned.
Yeah, if we could just remind people with the communications about the block party, especially for the fireworks. I mean, I think that's really the concern. It's like, people during the day, it's hot, people are moving around, it's not going to be a big deal. But I think when you're sitting in a chair in the dark next to the river, that might be a problem for folks. For the staffing section, a full-time communications specialist for the 911 communication center for the folks at home.
I'm sorry.
Is that a dispatcher?
It sure is.
Could you tell us more about what that role looks like and how,
Yes, our dispatchers are responsible for a variety of things, primarily answering 911 calls. So when you call 911, you're speaking to a dispatcher. Our 911 call center is at the police station, so they take the 911 call and then they dispatch the resources as appropriate. Because we provide our own medical service, they also do what's called EMD, emergency medical dispatching. So that's what you see on the TV shows. If you call and say so-and-so's having a heart attack, they walk you through CPR, first aid. And then they also, if you ever call the Tyngsborough Police Department and press 0, they answer the general business line after hours. So it is a job that requires quite a bit of multitasking, quite a bit of steel nerves, and the ability to remain calm under pressure.
Thank you, sir. I cannot imagine how difficult it would be to be a dispatcher or a full-time communication specialist, as the case may be. Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's it.
You're welcome. Select person Cohen.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Select Person Schneider, our town manager, really everybody on the building committee for the middle school. Everything I've heard, it's come out fantastic. Of course, the kids and the parents that are going into middle school in a week or so are very excited. And again, it is under budget, and we are paying $1 million out of the, for the middle school out of our operational budget every year for 30 years, $30 million to reduce the tax impact on the residents. And thanks to the, the building committee, making sure we were under budget was another goal that we had to further reduce the tax impact on the residents. So I'm very excited about that. Can't wait to go see it.
Thank you. Selectperson Coughlin.
Yeah, I have a question on the Winslow School. So, how much money has been, and I just don't know, because I just haven't been around for that long, but how much money has gone into the Winslow School projects to date?
Yep. I will get that number to the board. I'll include it in my Friday update, and then we'll make that publicly available with the report as well. I don't want to, we have to go back so many years that there's some years that I wasn't here for, so I will get you the number. It will be a mix of physical updates to the building. The abatement project was, I think, $300,000 or so. That was the most recent kind of large-scale thing that happened. There's been several, we did a small roof repairs in 2017, so it isn't a small number, but I'll get the board a firm number for my Friday report, and we'll make that number available on the town website as well.
Great, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. And then I just want to just echo what the other board members here have said about the middle school. I encourage everyone to come out to that open house if you're at all available. You're going to see a school that is a state-of-the-art building that has all the tools that the school administration now needs to deliver a superior education to our children. And as much as we're under budget, the money that we expended for that school also included paving the entire parking lot over, and for the entire campus. So the fact that we were able to achieve that and still remain under budget is quite an achievement. But please come out to the open house. I think you'll be very impressed with what we've done. Thank you.